Hi guys, Len from my basement is here. Now that I had a little more time with my Prusa Mini, I can finally do a kind of a review. Also, I wanted to apologize for providing some incorrect information before. Let's address elephant in the room. Yes, I was wrong when I said that Prusa Mini doesn't work with Octoprint. And I was never more happy to be wrong, as this was a pretty big issue for me. Since I only just unboxed my printer and only used it once, hence my video was called Unboxing and First Look, I completely missed micro USB port. And when I googled the subject, I got all kind of heated discussion about Mini not supporting Octoprint. Out of all people, Gina Hoyske, a person who created Octoprint, has mentioned in a post that Mini is incompatible with Octoprint. Well, in her defense, she never had Prusa Mini, and I did. So yeah, I apologize for incorrect information. Because Mini does work with Octoprint, and I had zero issues with it. I also mentioned that I didn't like spool holder, and while it's not pretty, it gets the work done. I'm still unhappy about min temp issue though. But it becomes less of an issue after you pass calibration wizard. Because you can simply preheat print bed and hot end before you print using software or LCD controller. Now to the review. Since my last video, I've been doing various practical prints on Mini, and I gotta say this printer is pretty awesome, especially considering the price. You simply cannot get better printer for the money. For just $350, you get a 3D printer that doesn't require any modification to get it working. It has a magnetic flexible bed and even mesh bed leveling. I was really amazed how quiet and fast this printer is. It's much quieter than my Mark III's, even when it's in stealth mode. And print quality is pretty good. When I showed this nut and bolt that I printed in PLA to my friends, they could not believe these were 3D printed. I had absolutely zero issues with bed adhesion and leveling. So far, I've printed PLA, PLA Plus, and PETG. Many people criticize print area of the Mini. Yes, if you need to print large props for cosplay or something else, it might be an issue. But for me, size of the printer is perfect. So let me explain why I think 180 by 180 print area is big enough. I have a farm of printers, and I print a lot of parts for the tooling products that I sell in my online shop. Usually I don't print more than 5 or 10 pieces at a time. Why, you ask? Well, with 3D printer you need to realize one thing. If you print 10 pieces, it will take you exactly 10 times more than printing a single piece. The only time saving you get is when monitoring start of the print and then removal of the part at the end. However, the more parts you try to print at the same time, the more chance of something going wrong. And when something goes wrong at the end of 15-hour print, you not only lose all the expensive filament, but also the time. Parts could get loose from the print bed, nozzle gets built up of the filament, which can get deposited on the printed part, ruining it. You might lose power and so on. So I try to keep my prints under 10 hours, preferably when I can monitor process from time to time. But I do take risks occasionally and print overnight. Because of this, I rarely have my print bed filled up. In this regard, Prusa Mini is perfect for this type of work, as it can produce as many parts as its bigger brother while taking a lot less space. I know for sure I will be getting more of these machines once shortage is under control at Prusa factory. Besides all the positive things I observed, I did encounter several issues. None of them are showstoppers, but some are very annoying, like filament unloading that frequently causes filament to get stuck in bolt tube. This causes gear to grind it, and the only way I can remove it is by loosening tensioning bearing and pulling filament out by hand. I don't know how this issue can be addressed, but for some reasons I never had it with my CR10 printer, which also used bolt and drive. Another issue I experienced is excessive stringing when printing PLA. I didn't really have time to play with settings and retractions to remedy this, other than lowering temperature. But eventually I found that disabling Z-lift option helps a lot. Issue also seems to be more pronounced with some older filament, probably due to moisture accumulation. However, that same filament had absolutely no stringing when printing with Prusa Mark 2.5 and Mark 3S. I also noticed some print quality issues with parts that I previously printed on other printers, but that's probably something I can fix by playing with slicer settings and maybe slowing down print speed a little. During filming of this episode, I experienced my first clogging while printing this benchy with PETG filament. Filament simply stopped extruding and got stuck, and it took me some effort to remove it. After reloading, it all went well. Quality of the benchy printed out of PETG is kind of sucked, but I'm hoping this can be fixed by adjusting slicer parameters. I also printed benchy out of standard PLA using model that came with my printer on the flash drive, and that printed flawlessly. Also, this sheep came out great, with a very cool wool texture on its back. Overall, I'm very happy with this printer, and if you are new to 3D printing, you will not be disappointed, because Prusa Mini is as good as it gets for a 3D printer in $300 to $400 range. Finally, I've been asked questions about Filament Sensor, and if it's really needed. I don't think it's necessary, as I can't honestly remember when was the last time I ran out of filament, so you can skip it. There's one more thing that's important to mention about Prusa Mini. Just a few days ago, I received a strange envelope containing just this little jumper and a card with instructions. What could it be for? Well, you see, Prusa Mini is not completely open source. In fact, you will not be able to upload unofficial firmware to the body board without making some hardware modifications. Official firmware is signed, and the body board verifies its signature before allowing an upload. In order for you to flash custom firmware, you need to break off a piece, an appendix, on the PCB board and install a jumper. This of course will void warranty on the printer. Is this signed firmware good or bad? I'm not entirely sure, but at least you have an option. That's it for this video. If you guys liked it and find it educational, please give me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you didn't like it, please leave a comment and let me know what you didn't like about it. I always strive to improve my videos. Thanks a lot and see you next time. Bye guys.